Yukon Radio. You also know me as your mom's favorite boyfriend. I'm not running solo. I am with Connie, who happens to be the love of my life. I just got robbed a few weeks ago, and I had to take cows there. So as we've just entered this, we thought, why not get advice from the people who have already started the journey. Some years in this, and it's always good to ask from the people that have been in this, I don't want to call it a game, but in this journey. And tonight we have the Mwami family. But firstly, maybe I should ask Connie, can you please greet the listeners? They're beautiful. They're beautiful. The Mwamis. What do they call you? Do they call you the Mwamis? Or do they call you by your first names? Oh, okay. Interesting. Mamwam, Sobon. Umshunemigazi wathi konke kuhamba kahle. Baba, how are you, sir?
Very beautiful evening to the listeners. A special greeting to your your beautiful woman.
My newly found sister. Yeah.
It's too soon. No, the problem I have is that she might give you the korobela that she gave to Mr. Mwami. Because the guys in
okay.
My brother, you need that. My brother is stronger.
You are a weak African brother.
I'm telling you, my brother, I have left all just to make sure. Hey.
You speak like the woman of the world, Oti, you know, and she left the bucket there, and you know, she was thinking that Jesus was going to be her sixth man, and she was like, no, I found the one, you know. I see that Ackson Zethembiso is really a professional when it comes to the love portions. So I wouldn't want her near my significant other.
No, uyezwa sozozibonela kuzomela sihlangane nosisikhoni and make things happen. You cannot be hearing about this. You must experience it, my brother.
Fire to you. And please don't send back to send. All right. Just to get the show started, so who is this kingdom couple? Maybe we should start as to when did you guys meet and where?
That is interesting. The first meeting was in 2010. It was in Standerton. The first lady, I'll call her my wife, is a PK.
Oh, okay.
So my family and her family met first through church.
Okay.
And one day I was invited to go to her family's house for prayer. And
as a pastor?
No, just as
a PK.
Just as I am. So yeah, we were actually, went there for prayer, and fortunately enough for me, I didn't have to make prayer because the prayer was answered in the house.
Oh Jesus! I hear you 10 times.
My brother, the spirit came upon me.
Okay. Yeah.
And
The dove descended.
and here we are in 2021.
What?
And I'm still confused what's happening with my heart.
I think you should tell them the real story of how you met me. He saw a picture of me actually. He's not telling you the full story.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he saw a picture of me at home. And I wasn't living at home at that time. I was in Maritzburg by my grandmother's place, and I was studying there. So he saw this picture, and then he decided to reach out and talk to me. And then
How
there
does
is
it
this
reach out,
history.
though? Phone call?
Hey,
Facebook?
baby, how does he reach out?
Hey, brother, I saw this picture, and I think that is I don't know what happens to a man's heart.
Uh-huh.
We can play around all we want, but when our eyes get in contact with the one, you just know.
Wow.
And I found ways to get the 10 digits.
Found ways. I want to know, because this sounds unholy. How did you... I want to know. This sounds very unholy. This is not a mission approach, I see. What happened?
No, so what had happened is we went there, and so there was this picture, and there was this beautiful lady there, and I asked around. I said, but they, man, I went in. I saw the father, I saw the mother, but the damsel I have not seen. What is happening? All I saw was the picture, and through asking around and trying to find out when a man wants what a man wants, and I got a good Samaritan.
I still don't know who that
I got a
Samaritan
good
is.
Samaritan, and good Samaritan offered help and said, "No, don't worry." It was in the days of mixit.
What?
Okay.
Our love story is a mixed story, and I tried to get in contact. No, I was shut down quickly, foot and very harshly.
Yeah, no.
you know the typical manifestation of don't talk to strangers.
Oh, okay. And she's a PK. She's got to uphold that.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
So
It
this
was,
good Samaritan, I've got one question. Is it from church or from her family?
Who is it? Let's hear today.
You're trying to expose me, my leader, but
Oh, no. Confess all your sins.
it's not a family. It's not from the family. Yeah, no, it wasn't from the family.
Who
It's
is
from
this
church.
one?
Yes.
So
Oh,
we can't call
thank
them a
you.
good Samaritans.
No, they are good Samaritans.
Can't get out
Looking
of
at
this
this
one.
way, we can crown them.
No,
Are you really protecting this person?
You're a
no,
lawyer.
no, this is serious protection, but soon and very soon the name is gonna come out.
So
Yeah,
there's a
so
corobela that
that
is
is,
being brewed just to get you
Yeah.
to confess clearly.
Yes.
That's how the love story started, and it started with quite a very harsh rejection.
What makes you persist?
No, I think that is what I think around that time, Muntu was jollering around, but that picture, when it stuck into my head, I'm like, no, but this can make me change my mind and settle down. And I persisted.
So you were quite busy.
he who finds must search. He who finds must search.
Ngiyabonga, mama.
You can't find if you are not searching.
Are you by any chance a lawyer by profession?
Oh, his mind's a good thing.
Yeah, and by that time, it was quite difficult for me having that sort of approach, because it's not something that I had ideally panned out in my mind, because as growing up as a PK and growing up in the church environment, you want a certain kind of love story of we met, yes, we went this way, this route and everything. But looking back, I can proudly say that God tailor makes your story. Yes. Okay, all right, baby, your man. God tailor makes your man and your story and your love story, because because uNkulunkulu isibhebheli indlela zakhe eziphakeme. But cabanga kwakhe akufani nokucabanga kwethu, and whether we can make plans, but the Lord's purpose shall prevail. So it was difficult, and it's still a bit awkward to tell the story, because I would always be like, no, we met in church. I'm always thinking, yes, mission approach, but we did meet in church, but it wasn't like the mission approach. But yes, but hallelujah,
Okay, we understand.
hallelujah.
We before we met, we prayed and we fasted.
Oh.
The Lord revealed.
No, but tell them you had a dream.
Yes, there was a dream.
So, Ma, when are you convinced? When are you
Giving in.
yeah?
Giving in. I think the day I met him, more than anything, and this is what I always say. I know that it sounds a bit what's the word, babe? Cliche, yes, cliche. But the day I probably got to meet him in the flesh. After rejecting him 2-3 times over the phone and shutting him down and everything, he was so on fire for God. He was so prayerful. I became weak in my knees. I'm like, Mara, this is a man of God.
Come on.
I know. I used to no. This is a man of God.
There is a certain fire that comes upon a man in the presence.
Mr. Mwami, but then oh, okay, you can go on, Mom.
Yes, the way he was on fire for the Lord, and I contemplated, I rejected. I was like, no, I'm dizzy, I'm not coming. Yay. But when I saw that, my eyes opened up to this new person, not only judging him by, okay, this guy just called me, he because for me it was an insult. Why did he come to me straight? As young papela lo agangoni azwangdopa how why katanga angangihloniphi, that thing that you have in your mind, I'm a woman of dignity, but yeah. And then I saw, this one is a special one.
Oh.
This one is a special kind.
This or not.
Yeah, it's a special kind, this one.
So,
Yeah.
so you gave up then?
Yeah, no, that's when I just went you know what, I'm giving up. Let me give him a chance. Let us have a conversation. And remember, by that time, Anklali Nase Kaya. So we just spoke. Yes, and we're just talking over the phone. We're just having conversations over the phone. We are just sharing the word of God. There are times where we'd be on the phone or 12, just praying and sharing and
Flirting.
And I love you here and there. And I love you here and there. Yeah. I love you here and there.
Hey, it has been difficult. Hi. I want to dive on diamonds for them to shine.
You still sound like you're still tired from what happened there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the grace. Now it's time to enjoy the grace.
Engagement, Jim. Engagement.
So you
Yeah.
sharing the word at night, you talking, you reflecting, you doing whatever.
Yes.
And in your mind then, are you guys dating or the mind is set on getting married, especially the pressures that come with being a PK?
Mina, in my mind, I had Uti. I'm not gonna be flirting and jollering with this guy without getting married to him. So he knew from the start, Uti, you know what? I don't have intentions. Uti mina ngiyazile njengomuntu ojola nawe, unganawo ama intentions now. So I'm not gonna go in here and go like, yeah, no, we're just wasting time. So what do you really want from me? You know, I asked him straight up, you know, what do you really want from me? Do you just want us, you know, let's just take it and whatever? And then that's when I actually understood, you know, he's not here for just jollaring. You know, he's here to be serious and to take this to the next level, which is not there, but just take it to the altar.
So
Yeah.
at that time, were you also ready to commit to him or commit to him?
Yeah, no, I was ready to commit to him. Of course, I wasn't ready to walk down the aisle and be married right there and then, but I was ready and I was willing to open up myself to the possibility of that happening in the future. Yes, I was willing to, okay, let me reveal parts of myself and parts of who I am, you know, that I wouldn't normally reveal to anyone else, to him, so that he can understand, it's not only going to be about us jollaring and clearing here, you know. This is who I am, this is how I feel, these are the struggles that I have, these are the battles that I'm facing, you know. Be vulnerable in that state, you know. Vulnerability, I think when people go like, let's take it to the next level or to the next step, people don't understand that it's not going and indulging in premarital sex. It's just opening yourself emotionally for the person to know and be able to understand you, be able to understand your struggles, be able to understand what difficulties you're facing. Yes, access and knowing who you are, and you know, a person being able to decide with or without lezinto umuntu anazo kuzomthwalisa lo mthwalo. And I guess that's taking it to the next level, going like, nyamazi Faith, nyamazi Zethembiso unalama issues, and I'm willing, you know, to help her carry that.
Wow, that's profound. At the time, just to go back a bit, at the time he's approaching you, you are a PK. Isn't there any other guys that are approaching you at the time, or didn't he have any competition?
Hey, hectic, bekunzima man.
My name is
I can
not
imagine.
understanding why I'm enjoying the grace.
I know.
I can imagine.
My brother, can I please take you for counseling? You have not healed.
My brother, there were men on the pulpit for fire. When they are preaching, you can see, man, that this revelation is here to serve my purpose here.
Oh.
I can imagine, my sister. I can imagine.
Yeah, I know the pressure. The pressure was real, and the people were also serious and real. So
A PK who can worship, my leader, a PK who can worship is in demand.
Obviously.
yeah, so yeah, it was really difficult, because you know, there was also what do you call this? You know, Mosabo, a prophet, but you know, this uNkulunkulu ukhombisile ukuthi this is the man that you're supposed to marry, this is the way you're supposed to go. And then, you know, you're in your mind contemplating, is this really from God? Is what I'm doing not good? Maybe this is the, you know, like a bit distracted, because now sekufike laba sekune confirmation, most so as a young person you always want this confirmation from God, show me in a dream, show me through your prophets. What is this? Which way should I go? And along that line of wanting a sign, you might lose it. You might lose your purpose because you're looking for a sign, and then your subconscious will now begin preaching to you in your dreams. You'll be like, yeah, no, that was God. And you just tuned your subconscious. You are scared.
Yeah.
All of these emotions are just acting. So I just solely rely on God and the voice of God. But I also, and let me not say but, and I also went with how I feel in my heart, because you really need to marry someone you like. You need to not someone you love, not someone you think that you'll be able to tolerate, not because of church, not because the person has a calling, but marry someone you like. Do I like this person? I think that's important. That's an important question you need to ask yourself. Eksen magavuga, will I be able to like him? No mangabe anje. Those are very important questions, because akasekho umoya ingcwele lapha alisekho ibandla.
Jesus.
Ayisekhiwe sheep. Would I choose? Yeah. Yes. If bengakholwa, would this person be ideally my husband? If nangabe I can strip off the calling from lo muntu angekho umoya ingcwele, will I be able to live with this person? Because marriage is not only about just hallelujah, amen. It's about serving each other each and every day. It's about seeing the weaknesses of a person and loving them anyway. It's about being able to tolerate and being able to compromise. Angasekho umoya ingcwele ukuthi okay, lo muntu nje, and I'm willing and I love this person and I like this person.
Speaking about tolerance, what do you think you tolerate about him, or you have learned to tolerate about him?
Baby, I think you should start. What have you learned to tolerate about me?
No, I think more than anything, look, it's in levels. The first dimension would have been what I remember we dated, and I'm gonna use that word carefully, for 7 years before getting married. The reason that is also is because we've grown up together. So there's a character and a personality that is pre-marriage, and then there is one that is within the marriage. Very, very different. Very different. So before marriage, what was difficult was the access. It was difficult seeing, talking to my wife, and I had to tolerate. Now, and when I say it was difficult, remember I was searching.
Yeah.
So there were people with easy access.
Oh,
the one you want doesn't have easy access. There must be a certain level of tolerance to say, simply because I can't access now does not mean I should compromise on what I have seen. And I think there were moments where, we could fall out, and I would feel, but this is too much. Because to a certain extent, we are at a level where we need assurance and all those kind of things. Remember, PK's language is not direct. We are Shomanje Wuti, she used to like me, but just to get the I love you from her, yeah.
You need
So at that moment, yes. So at that moment, what I tolerated most was that limited access. In marriage, and I think in marriage it's not specifically one thing, because marriage is a mirror. most of what you think you are tolerating from the other person can be a reflection of your own weaknesses.
Ah.
And so each and every day, depending on your growth level, you begin to discover, but Unje, you do this, and sometimes you are saying Unje, you do this, not realizing that the person you are looking at is a mirror, reflecting things that you yourself need to work on by yourself. A simple example. When we met, I was an introvert. My wife was outspoken.
Introvert, you?
Myself, I'm very, 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 very introverted.
Reserved.
Very reserved. She's outspoken.
Okay.
I could tolerate her being outspoken. There are times, one of the challenges even in marriage, one of the things even in marriage, especially the first year, with me, I wouldn't mind sitting. I don't like TV. I don't like light. So I would love being in the dark. Probably if I need to force from the other room, I would hear it. For me, that's the silence that I love. And then comes an outspoken person. Very loud, in my space. And look, it's not one thing we fight about, but psychologically, there had to be a shift. She doesn't like darkness. I love darkness. I don't like all these TVs, what. She just wants to be where it's jolly and all those kind of things. And look at me now. It's difficult for people to believe that I'm an introvert.
Yeah,
And now I can sleep in the dark.
And now she can sleep in the dark.
She looks reserved than you.
And now she looks reserved. And it's all because what you tolerate, you become.
Wow.
And I think those are a few things for me that and of course, one of the things that I tolerate about her is that she's my firstborn baby. I have come to realize and agree that you know when you exchange, the day of the altar for the wedding, it is indeed true that a woman exchanges fatherhood from one father to another, and she comes with that weakness that women have, which is a beautiful thing when you master and learn it, because as a man it gives you, that beauty of authority, that beauty of care and protection and provision
and responsibility, because you see a person growing from just being a boyfriend to being a man, a father, a husband.
What do you tolerate about?
What do I tolerate about?
No.
What do I tolerate? Yeah, no, I know, but it's just small things, I think people in marriage might fight about the little things. You see, this thing of toothpaste being what. I don't think those are things that people should be fighting about. Yeah, it might be irritating the first few months, but you learn. Yeah, you learn to live with them. So more than tolerate, I think the word is compromise. Yeah, the word is compromise. Be willing to understand that not everything is gonna be done my way, and just because it's not done my way, it doesn't mean that it's not right. What if he feels it's right to squeeze a toothpaste like that? Just because I want it to be done neatly doesn't mean it's right. So just meeting him, just meeting your spouse halfway. Yeah, you know, as kulanga emakhaya fanayo at the end of the day. So manje, I can't just expect a person to change overnight because, you know, this is what I want him to do and this is how I want him to behave. You know, so every day is just a process of what do we use these days, Kakulu? Becoming.
Yeah, and I think also with you and me, most of our tolerance also comes with our culture, because we are coming from quite diverse cultures. Our nationalities are different. Our languages are different. So those kind of I think diversity presents us with quite and I think the beauty of it is when you embrace it more than looking at it as something different and not good. You know, for example, I don't eat pap with spoon and fork and knife. So I love washing my hands and indulging it with my hands. You know, you know that kind of thing. You know? And when I wash my hands, I don't wash my hands in water with soap. Soap. We were taught that soap will give you diarrhea. So it's just those, but those tolerance of cultures and different kind of ways. I mean, which is a beautiful thing after mastering.
And I actually think, you know, if couples fight about that, there's an underlying issue. It's definitely not because umuntu akathanda ukuthi izinto zenziwe kanje. If nangabe senilonge izinto ey'ncane, it means they're just triggers. It's something that there's an underlying issue that you should deal with, because if you love a person, honestly, love covers a multitude of sins. And honestly, you know, when you love a person that much, you won't be bothered by the petty things. Please, babe, close the wardrobe. When you come out of the door, please close the door. Please close the door. Please close the door. I'll remind you. And the day silwele into out of context, so she umnyango uvulekile wesinye hotel. Why have you left the door open? Kanti, that's not why I'm angry. Something happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mwami, with Umama being an extrovert and you an introvert, and I can imagine your first fights, and she's outspoken. Didn't you kind of feel like she's controlling, she's disrespectful, she's not submissive and all that? How did you deal with that?
Yeah, all those words.
Hey, my brother. It was
I'm a prophet.
We relate.
6 months.
6 months.
Just 6 months. Oh. And you know, most marriages end before the wedding day.
Yo, please repeat that.
I'm telling you, most marriages end before the wedding day. And I'll tell you why. Number one, you get to zoom into personalities. As an introvert, you don't want something too flashy. As an extrovert, you want something outgoing and all that. So your finances come in, your family come in, your friends come in. And I can tell you, if we were not careful, I think our biggest fight that lasted for 6 months within the marriage started 2 weeks before the wedding.
Yo.
It took us a moment of, look, marriage is an institution ordained by God. If you are going to do marriage without God, you are going to need, I don't know what kind of strength. After 6 months, it had to take us a midnight when we were praying. We had to stop praying and we said, love, we have said things in the past 6 months. We have done things towards each other. Let's stop praying and let's confess forgiveness for each other.
Yo!
That was the beginning of our breakthrough for our marriage.
Yo!
Because the pressure that comes with my wife, she usually I love, I'll borrow her words. She loves saying marriage is a light. It's like a spotlight that shines, and anything that was hidden becomes revealed. In marriage, I think that is where oneness begins. It begins by becoming naked. Whatever weakness that we hid for the past, I'm telling you, we dated, like I'm saying, for 7 years. But the first 6 months, the 7 years didn't matter. It was nothing. It was like we just met now.
Yo.
And having those personality crashes. Oh, you'd start a fight, and she's expressive. And you are quiet, and being quiet is irritating, and she being spoken is irritating you back.
You're both irritating each other, yeah.
You are but until after that prayer, after that 6 months of intense, and everyone is saying you're in a honeymoon phase. Remember now, outside everyone is congratulating you. Outside everyone is saying you're in a honeymoon. There's no the honeymoon they are talking about. That honey is bitter. Wow. For 2 different people to become one, there is a purging that happens, and you find at the end of the day, most of these fights we had, I can tell you, and we always say this, you discover at the end of the day, none of us is wrong. None of this issue is about any of us, but we are the ones fighting. So no, to answer your question, it was hectic.
And that's when you actually realize, okay, the enemy is against marriage so much, because some of these things, we can try and explain them in the natural and try and bring them down to our level, carnality and in the flesh. But honestly, it was a spiritual warfare, because, both of us at that time, it was bad, because we came to a point of like, I'm willing to actually walk out. But because we had promised ourselves that we would never say the D word, never go like I'm leaving or what. Thank goodness and thank God for those words, because we're able to come down, because words are powerful. Able to come down and go like, what, we must make this work, and we will make it work. So there's nothing as amazing as having a very strong spiritual support system. I think people talk about family support system, they talk about premarital counseling, they talk about all of these things, but if you don't have a spiritual support system, people that are praying for you in the background while you are planning the wedding, while you are going through the phase of being engaged, ningazithola nisenkingeni, understand, because how did we end up here? Because
we have a beautiful love story.
Yeah, because a beautiful love story. We are in love, so having that strong spiritual support system and having a wedding planner, please invest in a wedding planner.
Okay.
Yeah, no, wedding
but that is all in all. Just to answer your question, my brother, it wasn't a honeymoon phase. It was a serious learning of what become. When they say marriage is not for boys, that's the time I realized to say, here, if you are a boy, you will you will go somewhere. You will go somewhere.
Wow. So, Mwami, you're a called man of God, and ulwa no mama, and you have to go preach. What do you do?
Look, I think, well, and I'm not sure, and I'm gonna be very selective in how I put this. I'm not sure how pastors handle it, but because, of course, I've had the grace and the opportunity to be able to function under the callings of ministry myself. If there is one thing that I have learned throughout life, is the power of forgiveness. Because your mood can be negative, but your heart should always be clean.
Hi, Mwami. Please repeat that.
You see, I can decide to not talk to my wife, or to do an action, to whatever way I decide to show that that which was done was wrong. But in doing that, ensure that your heart is cleansed. For me, that is one of the things that assisted and continues to assist. Even until now, we always emphasize on marriage. One of the pillars of marriage is you must be a great forgiver.
But how do you master the art of that?
And because out of the heart flows the issues of life.
Yeah.
There is no, you see, you cannot pretend this marriage thing.
Hey,
you know, I hear people, you know, sometimes on social media, people talk and say, time has a power within itself that reveals pretense. The way we are talking like this can't be pretended for too long. You can do it for the first few weeks, for the first few years, but ultimately, without exercising the power of forgiveness, out of the fullness of the heart, the mouth speaks. One of these, and so that assists. Understand, because speaking in front of people has nothing to do with my fight with my wife, but it has everything to do with the state of my mind, my heart. You know, at that moment, God and His revelations visits our heart. And remember, when you are speaking, you are a vessel, and that's the power of grace. But I think one of the great things that also assists, and which a lot of, and what I realized is, it is important to match outfits. Because no matter how much the fight was yesterday, you have no option but to discuss what you are going to wear when you are going to sleep.
You need to look the part.
Hey.
But you see, while looking the part, you are discussing. You are coordinating the colors. By the time you are done coordinating the colors, the mood will be coordinated, the mindset will be coordinated. That begins a new day.
Wow.
Matching outfits has nothing to just talk about looking good. No. You that thing of waking up, this one wears yellow, this one wears green, and you go different ways, you know. But when you say, okay, I know you are angry with me, but what are we wearing, my love? No, I was thinking of wearing this, but no, where we are going, me and this, why do you wear this? Before you realize it, there is, I mean, we know, I'm in public speaking, I'm in coaching.
Mm.
The power of color coordination influences your mood.
Even when you go
And
in
that influences your
separate.
conversation in the car.
Sure.
Matching outfits.
Matching out.
What are you guys wearing now? If you are wearing anything, though.
Can we skip that one? For the listeners?
I said I will leave no stone unturned. Oh, wow. But how long did so it's that 6 months and you had to learn the power of forgiveness. But, I believe forgiveness is a gift. It's grace, man. It's grace, It's not a thing that you just decide, man. How do you get to that? And I sense, Uguti, as you are saying, the art of forgiveness or the power of forgiveness, and making sure that your heart is clean, because that's where the matters of life are flowing. No, I sense that you are saying no matter how severe the deed or what's the word, the whatever is committed is, no matter how big it is, how do you then say, okay, this is a small issue, this thing I can forgive. What's your deal breaker to say, okay, now this
This one I can't.
well, even if you can, but I can't just forgive it now. You understand? Sometimes I'm gonna drag it. How do you just forgive everything? How do you do that?
I think we've had this conversation before, and I want you to tell me what you said. To tell them.
Look, I think here's the thing about marriage. This is where you separate partnership, relationship, dating with marriage. The condition of marriage is that you don't weigh the sin, you weigh the covenant.
Ah!
What? There must be a level of intentionality, of intentionality when getting into marriage. What is it that you can't forgive your child or your brother or your sister
Or your mom.
or your mother? Now, those people are not as connected to you as your husband, according to the law of covenant.
Wow.
So, well, we will play around with our emotions, of course. We are human. Let's not run away from it. As humans, depending on whether you are in an environment or a season of happiness or whatever, of course you drag something, and maybe because it's a way we seek attention, it's a way we introduce approach of communication. But ultimately, when it comes to forgiveness in marriage, there is neither here or there. There is no big or small sin. I'll give you an example. Small things. I think we were chatting with my wife just recently to talk about defining cheating. And the honest truth is, in the generation we live in, what is cheating? It's anything that takes away that which intimately belongs to your partner, which is time, focus, attention, your body. You cannot measure these things, because the consequences, whether emotionally, spiritually, mentally, remains the same. And that's why we always say, beyond forgiveness, you must actually get to a level of justification in marriage. What is to justify? To justify is to know the wrong was done, but I don't want to know the details of the wrong. You are my wife.
Mwami, what
You
are
are
you?
my wife.
Yay, whoa, 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 whoa. Isn't that what makes us feel better? What happened? Yeah, I want the details.
But it makes us feel better because it feeds our selfishness or our self-pride, which are the two things that should never exist in marriage.
And it actually makes us feel bad because it affects the way you view things. Remember, Pella, forgiveness is also it's also about you. You know, you play the blame game of it was my fault that this happened. You know, so manja, you'll be actually having to work backwards and doing a double job. You came late today. You were at work. Fine. You didn't tell me. You were with your boss. You know, you were not involved intimately with your boss. You were discussing, but you overlooked me. You didn't inform me. You know, which means you cheated on me today. I'm not happy.
I'm not happy.
I feel cheated and I feel over.
My time was taken by somebody else.
Yes, and I was consider like what is that? Don't tell me what you know. You had a meeting and you know work is work. I don't want the details. It's wrong.
That was our fight 2 weeks ago.
You guys still fight?
Wow.
No, we do.
That's
No,
beautiful.
I think you know, fighting in a relationship is very healthy because you get to learn more about your partner. So these days it's not really fighting, it's
understanding.
It's understanding, yes. You know, I don't like this. I don't appreciate this. Okay,
I think we are dealing with habits.
Yes, habits now. Just we are dealing with habits.
Yeah.
Poor communication.
Yeah.
You know, assuming that this is
transparency,
this is
ensuring
what I want.
transparency.
And you know, transparency is there because I mean, whatever. But I think the biggest thing between you and I now is just assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I assume that he knows.
Like you understand.
Yeah, I'm busy. I will assume because I think that's also it's familiarity.
Yes. We are yes.
Yes, not super familiar. No, I know. Yes,
we are dealing with that.
He knows I'm not with another man, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I would like to know where you are. I get worried, you know. So don't be familiar with me.
To that extent.
Just make it a habit. So I think it's those things now.
Okay, so talking about forgiveness and all, then raises this question: would see, yes, someone does something and you forgive them. What happens now when you sense Uguti? Now my partner does not respect me. Remember we spoke about we are not getting out of this. We don't mention the D word here. Now you see Uguti, the level of respect is just crazy here. This partner doesn't respect me at all. It's just disrespect all the way. And we were asking last week, and my wife asked Uguti, when you were, the other partner is pulling, but the other is just doesn't care. When you are the only one now who seems to care about the relationship and the other party, you're working on the relationship, but the other party is relaxed, you know. In context that we don't mention the D word.
Yeah.
What's the deal breaker there?
Maybe let me come in. I'm laughing because you know I was very anti-marriage before I met my wife. You know, Mos. I think thing is we never did the normal marital, what do you call it? Premarital counseling. We opted for marriage mentorship,
which is ongoing.
So the difference is the access is different. Premarital counseling is quite formal, and you know it's a textbook. I'm gonna use textbook information, but with mentorship, the people that are mentoring us have given us access to their love life.
Wow.
They are dad and mom. We are family. We get into how we are literally family.
And it's better to learn that way because you practically see.
And we practically see. Now, and I'm trying to answer because it has not yet gotten to a level where you feel now moving. And the reason why that hasn't gotten there is because submission starts with a man, not a woman.
Say that again.
Submission starts with a man, not with a woman.
Why are you not looking at me? Okay, please elaborate.
A man who has no one they submit to doesn't deserve anyone to submit to them.
Yo.
Because it is fundamental for a leader to account. So if you are a leader as a man, the question is, who are you accounting to? So for me, my wife has 2 or 3, 4 people that she knows if I misbehave, she can easily call and they will not even look twice. They will go a spade a spade. Number 1 is God. Number 2 is our marriage mentor. And that is what has really been helping. You know, there are times where we could fight, and the mood in the marriage was bad for 3-4 weeks. It's not changing. You can feel, man. You are trying to drag it, but I change. You just drive and visit our mentors. We come back. I have the best wife in the world. She is enjoying the best husband, simply because of conversation. Because you see, and we are realizing this each and every day. What you guys are fighting about is exactly what we are fighting about. It's 2 or 3 things here and there, but 99% of the fights in marriages, all of them are the same thing. All we need is someone to tell us, you're talking about that. And they will laugh. And they'll be laughing. While you guys are fighting, they'll be like, you remember when we used to fight, they're laughing and they're in love, and you look at it and they're like, what's the point?
And it's important to also not be an island when you're married.
True.
You know, don't think Kubuti.
You do it by yourself, the 2 of you.
Do it by myself. We've got friends that even friends, associations, you know, people that are also married that we talk to. You know, you talk to the wife, you talk to the husband, and you know, you are able to open up yourself in that way. Of course, you know, pillow talk, but you both reach an understanding with the wife and my husband with the other husband. Man, we're gonna make things work. No mangabe kunje. You know, this is what we are going through. I'm also going through the same, yes, especially now with parenting. You know, because it's a different phase of
a danger phase.
And it's a danger phase. Things can happen. So having people to communicate with, I think, has really assisted.
Sure.
Yeah, it's assisting. So you're not an island. You are not an island. We are not an island. We are meant to be associates, and you don't need to always be perfect.
I'm happy I have a stay in you now.
Are we now?
Yes.
My brother, you
should be like.
We have set ourselves up.
In trouble here. Oh.
Yeah.
We are moving. We are going to Australia. Wow. But Andy, how long have you been married now? Dated for 7 years.
We just celebrated our 4th anniversary.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations. And we during the week we were just checking your pictures, and this picture I think you took out at the church. I think it was after service. Okay, and yo, Jehovah.
Yeah.
That picture needs anointing water. The one. Bekubula kwembeso, exactly.
But you know what? I actually think ilama phone akudala lawo. Bengakafika ama-iPhone, bengakafika nama-smartphone. So manje
We're
kubera
actually laughing at
Yabona, they say money, but you are not ugly, you just need money.
yes.
You just need a wife.
Malia Keza.
Yeah, so Mrs. said this.
when I'm a couple that lanes, they will not have those pictures. No.
Oh yeah, that's where all the fun is. Wow. So you've just celebrated 4 years anniversary, and we saw a beautiful picture, and it was not 2 of you, but 3 of you, but the other one invisible.
Ha ha ha.
How has it been? The mood swings and all
Hey,
that.
hey, no, that one.
My
That
brother.
It has been life changing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word.
Life changing. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
it's been one of the most beautiful experiences. If there is one thing that we did right, was to actually wait
And fix ourselves.
Wow.
and fix it.
Mm.
I think I think that would be an advice that I would give to couples that would go into marriage, to say, don't get in. And of course, I mean, when you get in, I mean, you've got legal sex, right? You've got legal sex. You've got a mindset where now you don't need to. You can have it everywhere, anyway, and you don't need protection. You can just, pull yourself, right? But I think one of the most beautiful blessing with us, and this is subjective, is we waited. We fixed ourselves. We created an environment where, when the third person arrived, we were okay emotionally. We were okay mentally. Because I'm saying that, I mean, we've already told you that our first few. Imagine if in those few 6 months, and going into a year, you discover you are fighting like that, and then you discover we are pregnant.
And the delusion that most couples have is that, when a child comes, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Everything becomes fine.
Aye.
No,
They didn't tell me, my leader, they didn't tell me that I'll be fasting for 3 months. They didn't tell me.
And the olden days that used to happen, I need to say by the time you're 25 years into marriage, the kids move out of the house, then you are left with each other, and then that's where the trouble starts again. So it means you didn't deal with the issues and then 25, 26 years down the line, they're divorcing because they were just there for the kids. It was just, okay, I'm a roommate, have the kids eaten, what, and we're just, tolerating each other. Honestly, after the kids move out, we have to be with each other, face each other again, and as so I had to be a good wife. He had to be a good husband. We had to fix our relationship, and then now we are good parents. But no, pregnancy, I think I showed him things.
And that's where forgiveness kicked in.
Yes, that's what.
Hey.
No, it's hormones. I think Jay, you should be strong as a man.
Wow. So obviously there's then this the topic and most couples avoid it, and that's finances in marriage. And going to marriage, Mwami, at that time, are you financially stable? What was happening in your bank account?
I think one of the areas that our marriage is blessed in is that we have never had a fight financially. And that's because I think my wife is really, I think she's got that financial intelligence. Going into that, I mean, I remember the budget for our wedding was what, 90,000, and it went to like 350 or something.
Jeez.
We can't tell you where the money came from.
Wow.
But it was paid for.
Wow.
But I think
that's a testimony.
That
I
thing,
think
yes.
just pause there, man, and just thank God.
Yeah,
Wow.
Give him honor for that, because I always go like, you know what? I don't know how he pulled it off, and that's where I truly believe Uguti. He really has a purpose for us to be together, because we had the most beautiful wedding without any financial support from our parents, nothing whatsoever, because honestly our parents are not financially stable. They could have helped us financially. Our friends bailed out on us, people bailed out on us last minute, people that were willing to be our sponsors. I don't know honestly.
But also, look, one of the things I think that we practiced even before getting into marriage was crazy planting.
Yes, baby. How can I forget that?
Money will never be enough, especially in marriage. But I think when you intentionally, go for it, be on the offensive, plant, that 1,000 that you just put in an envelope and plant, and name that seed, name it. Even now, I mean, we don't have a lot of money, but because of the seeds that we've planted, I can tell you, we are seeing ourselves getting well off at work. I mean, we just did, I think it's a year ago, we did a crazy faith seed planting, and there's so much establishment in our work that is coming with financial benefits.
And that's the biggest thing that we had to break from both our families, because we come from poverty-stricken families, and I think we were going that route if we were not spiritually awake about the impact that thing has on us as well, because we are born and this is happening, but financially both our families were really unstable. So we went all out, like crazy. Even now, when God says, give that amount of money, or kwenzakalani siyakhipha okukhona, God will see us and we'll never go hungry, never.
And so that's our financial conversation. I think, in short, when you talk financial management in marriage, for us, our financial conversations are planting.
Wow.
For that particular season, because what I've also realized is not only about planting money,
Yes.
I'm a very sentimental person, and God has really taught me in a very crazy way to not be sentimental. and I'm letting go of things that are so close to
Special
my
to
heart,
you,
special
yeah.
to me, and I'm giving them out. Like the other time, I was just thinking, I gave out a watch that my husband had given me for my birthday. I loved it so much.
Ngingakubulala. Mamela, ngingakubulala mina. Ngingakubulala. Then do what? Ngingahamba ngiyoyenza i-death certificate yakho.
And that's it was so sentimental to me, and he knows how difficult that was for me. Now looking back, I was actually having a conversation with myself. God was actually instructing me to seize time.
Yay!
To seize time, and the way things happened after that, you remember, and it like happened. Now looking back, I'm like, okay, so that was God, because I heard it clearly. Seize the time. Take off your watch. Give it. I'm like, yo, because I'm not rushed now. Can't I give anything else? Can't I? I guess maybe money. I've got like $1,000 in my account. No, I want what's close to your heart. God has a way, it just breaks you. And then when you listen to that instruction, he surely rewards you. Because that's the seed, and that seed grows.
Wow. And when it comes to discuss finances, you earlier, Mama, mentioned that you guys are friends, and these friends are is it friends that are pre-marriage, or after you guys got married you then started having friends, or how did it come about? And the limitations. I just want to understand how the structure around friendship, the time spent with friends, and making sure, how do you make sure it doesn't affect your relationship? To what point can your friends meddle in your relationship and all that? How's your structure when it comes to friends?
I think before my husband takes over, I think you must be friends with your husband first. That's important. Let him be your best friend.
Okay.
And let him be your best friend. And honestly, in the Bangani, friends are really for seasons. I mean, I've seen, like, there are friends that I was close with when I wasn't married. And then I got married, they fell off, not because anything happened, but it was for a certain season. And they're friends for life and all of that. And once you get into marriage, God brings friends. He brings the people that you should be associated with. And when you open up yourself and you are honest with, is this, because Ackson is my friend, I ask, he's my best friend, do you think this friendship is toxic now? I because I guess the trick is usually because mina nosisi wami sesoba bangani nansi kumele nifole in lapho nibe bangani, so we are honest with ourselves when it comes to that. Okay, mina, I click with the wife. Maybe you don't click with the husband, but mina, I love Ukon. She's gonna be my friend, so it's fine. Maybe when I was one, you introduced me to them, but I like Ukoni, and whatever you guys do, you do it there. So sometimes the dynamics are not always going to be the same, and I don't think you should actually. We don't force that. We don't force friendship down each other's throats. If it flows, it flows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I think that's important, and just having those boundaries, respect my space. I don't need to warm up to your people sometimes. It's people maybe that understand you. I don't have that sort of understanding. Just be that brutally honest. You would say, "Brah, it's cool. They are your friends, but
they're not mine.
I'm fine now on the other side. For now, maybe one day God will help me.
And see the other way.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are just
on. No. I think I think most of the friendships we have, I think pre-marriage we do have, but I think it's people that are of the same vision. Can two walk together unless they agree?
Yes.
Very important. And I think what creates there are things that separate us, as friends. Sometimes you can think you have the same vision, but when it comes to implementation of action plan, that's where a lot of people fall off. So we don't have a lot of friends, and that is just the truth. And it could be because we don't reach for that access. I think we are enjoying each other.
High five.
I'm telling you, like, there is that joy that we find. If my wife is not here, I just get frustrated. If
My brother.
I know what you mean.
we are enjoying each other, and that's why even our friends we meet with, even our best of friends, in a year we meet maybe 4 or 5 times. We make it a special meeting, of course. But overall, let's talk on the phone, let's chat, enjoy each other. Unless, of course, you want to gossip about your husbands and what. It doesn't really need to take our time away. You can gossip about me while you are brushing me on your lap and all that. But that is it, because true friendship is sustained by inspiration.
And I'm asking the question because she's easy to make friends, and me on the other hand, outspoken, crazy as I am, I've got no friends, and for me, I enjoy sitting at home, I enjoy being with her. But then at times, like, I just point out one day where it was last month, right? Where I had to sit a Spur, and because I had taken her to Graceland to meet her friends for a few hours, and I couldn't help but think, is this normal? But I didn't have any problem with it,
No,
and I was asking myself, Oguti, is this healthy going forward? That she's got friends and I don't have friends.
And honestly, for me, you and me are probably in a similar box.
Yeah.
For me, it's healthy, because look, remember, my personality is, I'm an intro.
Yeah.
Of course, I might, because of her influence, I might change. But as is, the worst that can ever happen is to have people around. I always say, the saddest person is one surrounded by many but is still lonely.
Yeah.
And for me, that is it. I've tried this thing of groupies. It doesn't work.
My brother. I thought I was sick. Thank you for vindicating me.
It doesn't work. And of course, you the language is gonna be different. You're gonna feel, and that will begin then to affect you and start thinking, maybe I need to learn more of this and that unnecessary stuff because you want to fit in. But pretense is always exposed by time. Sooner or later, you will be frustrated. And so, when it comes to friendship, I think the most that is maintained is that which is we have the two of us, and those, of course, friends that we have 2 or 3 genuine people that we just, of course, build on because of a shared vision, a shared purpose.
Wow. Okay.
I've got friends, and maybe for us, I think 2-3 couples that we really, really associate ourselves with, and it wasn't forced at all. It's because when we meet, we speak the same language, we have the same goals and objectives, and that lights up a day. But ultimately, we are coming back to the ultimate friendship, which is myself and her. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I've kept you guys for so long, but I've got, I think, 2 or 3 questions. We've got one also. That's 4, ne? I've got 6 more, so that's 10. I just wanted to talk about, because I've been seeing you guys public speaking and all that. Just want you to maybe tell us what's happening with that.
Yeah. So, please don't mind. We are feeding.
Oh, okay,
You
okay,
not,
okay.
you might not hear a lot of the female voice
Oh, okay.
with public speaking. So that is my heart. And that is one that mistakes me for. Hey, my leader, you know, when the Lord was giving the fivefold ministry, I walked out of the room. Hey, when I came back, it was like, no, we are only left with public speaking and coaching. I'll take it. So we do a lot of public speaking. Mine is so much on personal leadership. We speak so much. I mean, we've got 5 books. I've written 4, and the last one we co-authored with my wife. And all these books are talking on assisting us to change ourselves. It has nothing to do with a book. The books that we've written, we never wrote them so that they can change you. We wrote them that they can assist you to change yourself in the process. Wow. And so we speak so much on personal leadership, believing that leadership starts with self. If you can't lead yourself, don't even attempt to try and lead other people, because you'll be a bossy, bully person. Wow. So that is what we do, a lot of it. And of course, because of the passion that we have for marriage and the things we constantly learn, both from our mentors, from our conversations, we've extended our speaking into the marriage coaching and, speaking on marriage issues. So wow. That is a passion that we do have, and that is a field that we play comfortably in.
Wow. What a beautiful love story. What's your question, babe?
So what can you say that marriage has taught you guys about yourselves, maybe?
Sure. Marriage has exposed us to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Marriage has redefined what we thought we are.
You thought you knew about yourself.
And what we thought we knew about ourselves.
Wow.
Marriage has taught me the true definition of humility.
Wow.
Marriage has taught us true meaning of forgiveness. Marriage has shown us what it truly means to be selfless. Those are sentiments that we share every day. We're chatting and we're talking and we are observing each other. Those are habitual changes that we see every day to say, okay, this person the language has changed. The approach continues to change. It's beautiful what marriage can do, especially when you give yourself to the process. Wow. Because when you try to fight, as an institution, you don't go to the university with your own rules. The university has its own rules. Follow them and you will enjoy. If you break them, you will be expelled. And that's what marriage is. It's an institution with its own rules. You follow these fundamentals and then it brings the glow. The moment you begin to fight and you want to bring your own ideology against the ideology of the Maker God himself, it will spit you out. And these are things that we continue to learn about marriage.
you've spoken a mouthful. I'm in awe. I need to listen to this podcast.
We will definitely listen to it.
As if I was not here. Wow. Mr. Mwami. No, Mama, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I kind of feel it's an injustice because I think we need a day for the interview, you know. But it was just so beautiful. My brother, thank you so much.
No, we truly enjoyed this beautiful conversation. I think it's very relaxed, so
yeah,
we really enjoyed. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and please, as I said to the listeners, we've got a little one, blessing. So she's up for her feeding now.
Okay.
So that's why my wife is not here. She's just trying to put her back to bed. But I know that you heard them, and she's the one who was speaking a lot. And when my wife is speaking a lot, just know that she's enjoying the platform.
Well, we are so blessed to have you guys, man. We're so blessed to have you guys. So just for free marketing, what are your 5 books called, and how do people get hold of those?
Well, I'm a success addict, number 1. Apology accepted, number 2. Promotion, number 3. The kingdom couple, number 4. I interviewed God, number 5. These are all personal development and personal leadership books. Ackson Mwami, or Zethembiso Mwami, or the kingdom couple page. Those are our Facebook and social media platforms. Please do not hesitate to just reach out to us, and we make arrangements for that book to reach out to you, and you'll be blessed.
Any events coming up?
At the moment, we have invitational events, but I think for us, we are still just a bit on hold because we are trying to to adjust to parenthood.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had an incident where, because of COVID and all this, we're just trying to be very precautious on how we move. So for now, unless otherwise, all events will be on our social media platforms, and that's where people will get us.
That was Ubaba Mwami, no Mama, was Zethembiso Mwami. A beautiful couple. I don't know how much must I say that. And if you want to know about them a bit, is Ackson King and Zethembiso Mwami are public speakers, authors, and philanthropists passionate about personal leadership, kingdom relationships, and giving hope to society. The couple got married in 2017 and continue to thrive for excellence in their personal, marital, and career lives. They enhance the idea that they are married in community of purpose with the mantra, pursuing purpose passionately through personal leadership and relationship. They are founders of the Kingdom Couple brand, focused on promoting living a happy single life, dating intentionally, getting and staying married. They are authors of a must-have relationship book, The Kingdom Couple, 21 questions you've been meaning to ask about relationship. And their Facebook page is the Kingdom Couple page, Instagram, The Kingdom Couple, YouTube, The Kingdom